Hey guys, welcome. Maybe everything will work halfway decent tonight. We're trying again tonight. We were supposed to do this. I tried to do this last night, and everything turned into a huge dumpster fire right from the get go. So, fingers crossed that it'll work tonight. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody's had a good week. I hope everybody had a better Friday the 13th yesterday than I did. Actually, my Friday the 13th started on Thursday as far as work goes. Work wasn't bad. Between weather and incidents on the Interstate 40 that runs right down through the middle of all these little towns that I live in and work in and have to drive in on a regular basis, delivering groceries. The last Thursday, Friday. So Thursday, there was a police incident on the freeway somewhere between the town I live in and the town I work in. So that shut down the interstate entirely. And then yesterday, there was a wreck that shut westbound down for hours. So trying to get through town, especially Thursday when the police incident happened. I mean, the back roads are backed up. The back roads of the back roads were backed up. So it wasn't fun. Anyway, enough of my complaining. Like I said, I hope everybody's doing well. This is our True Crime After Dark. We got lots of stuff we want to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about Jamie Valdez, who's been missing. April 9th was a 4-year anniversary of Jamie being missing from Boonville, Arkansas. April 9th was also the 30-year anniversary that Morgan Nick case has been going, that she's been missing. So we're going to talk about those, some missing persons, some other stuff in the news, whatever you guys want to talk about. Still trying to catch my breath. And I got the ball game. I'm watching the College World Series. My Razorbacks are playing LSU tonight. And right now it's not too good. It's 4-1 LSU. So we'll see how that goes. And then Little Biscuit's over here sleeping. So hopefully he will behave himself and won't have to get put out in the middle of the live stream like the other night. So far, he's sleeping and behaving himself, but we'll see how long that lasts. So let's see who is here. Miss Paula is here. Hello, Miss Paula. Good to see you. Crimezilla, welcome back. Good to have you here. Arctic is here. I hope you're doing well, my friend, over in your part of Arkansas. I hope those storms that we've been having, I hope y'all made it through all right with those. And it stormed here again today. I mean, it's like every day the storms go through. And I managed to beat them home today. I actually took some pictures when I was coming home. I think I posted them on my community tab to my members. But some wicked looking clouds. But I managed to beat them home before the bottom fell out. So anyway, it's good to have Arctic here. Junior is here. Hello, Junior. All the way. He is in Michigan. Always have to check to see if Junior is in Michigan or Kentucky. Always good to have Junior here. I know he's up past his bedtime, but it's always good to see him. Miss Nicole from Stolen Spirits MMIWG is here. Welcome, ma'am. Please do check out the YouTube channel. They got a Facebook group. Miss Nicole and everybody over there does such a wonderful job of sharing the MMIP, MMIWG, doing great work over there. Absolutely. Let's see who else is here. Miss Nicole says, I followed Jamie's case for a long time. I hope his sister and family will have closure someday. Absolutely. Yes. And I messaged Miss Shawn, who is one of Jamie's sisters, just to see how she was doing, with the anniversary. And then they did have a vigil for Jamie the other day, and they showed a video which she uploaded to the and I think I put it in the description box. Miss Shawn has done a YouTube channel where she shares everything about Jamie's case, and she had uploaded the video that they showed at the vigil. So while I was talking to her, I asked her permission if she would mind if I showed that video tonight, if I played it on here. And she said, she was so gracious and said absolutely. So I'll be showing you that and giving some little bit of details on Jamie's case. Now I do have I've done a short video on Jamie, and I've done a live stream, deep dive live stream. I do have a playlist, so be sure to check my playlist to see everything that I've done so far. Lots of people, thankfully. Arctic's done a lot of stuff on Jamie, and a lot of podcasts and other big YouTube channels have picked up Jamie's case. So yes, we are definitely hoping for some answers, some closure in Jamie's case, and just thoughts and prayers and good vibes absolutely going out to Miss Shawn and the whole family. And she said when I intended to do this last night, I had texted her the night before, and she said she had her grandbabies this weekend. I said, no problem. She goes, I want to check in and say hello. I said, no problem. I said, you can watch replay, whatever. And I told her I probably actually, when we got done or after the live stream was over, I'm probably going to clip down the part where I talk about Jamie and just upload it as a separate video and add it to the playlist just for even more exposure. So anyway, good to have Miss Nicole here once again. Michigan Wifey is here. Hello, lady. Good to see you always. Butterfly Kisses is here. Good to see you. Yes, ma'am. I am from Arkansas. Miss Nicole asked if I'm also from Arkansas. Yes, ma'am. I live in Central Arkansas. I live a little bit east of Little Rock. So yes, ma'am. Lifelong, lived here all my life. I'm a true blue Arkansan. Yeah, Arctic said, talking about the rain, decided to piss down right after getting my car detailed. Of course, that's the way it always happens. Well, that's how my car got its car washed. So all the rain, that's about the only time it gets washed, because I always say I'm going to run it through the car wash. I never do it. Speaking of Miss Shawn, there is Miss Shawn. Hello, Miss Shawn. I hope you are doing well. I hope you're having fun with those grandbabies. And she is dropping in to say hello, hello. So everybody give a big hello to Miss Shawn. Once again, that is Miss Shawn is Jamie Valdez's sister, and we're always glad when she can drop in. Miss Lisa Joe is here, our Spice Girl. Our Spice Girl is here. Always good to see Lisa Joe. Excellent. Arctic says, I've hung flowers for Jamie and wear his shirts to the car shows. Excellent. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mustang is back. Welcome back, Mustang. I know you were one of the ones that were here last night when everything went cattywampus and I had to shut it down, or I didn't shut it down. StreamYard shut it down for me. But good to have you back again tonight. See, make sure I'm not missing anybody. Yes, Miss Lisa Joe said the Vanished podcast covered Jamie's case. Yes, you can just go on wherever you listen, or a bunch of YouTube channels, like I said, have done have covered Jamie's case. A lot of podcasts. I listen to my podcast on Spotify, but I'm sure you can find them wherever you find your podcast. So yes, just Google Jamie Valdez and just watch anything and everything you can find. Absolutely. Julian is back. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you here. Oh, Miss Nicole is in Northwest Arkansas. Excellent. Born and raised as well. Well, hello, fellow Arkansan. Arctic is also, he wasn't, I don't think he was born, I think he was born in Oklahoma, but I think he's lived just as long here in Arkansas as he did Oklahoma. So we have lots of Arkansans in here tonight. Yeah, I know Northwest Arkansas. About the only time I go up there is we used to go up there for the Razorback football games. But I haven't been up there in a while. I need to get back up there whenever I get the time and the energy and the money to get up there. Yep. Arctic is in the Fort Smith area, but go to Fayetteville often. Yep. Lisa Joe says she's deadheading her lilacs. That remind me of the Grateful Dead. I know that's not what you're talking about. I know that's some kind of technical gardening or pruning term, if I'm not mistaken. I do not have a green thumb. I did not inherit, me nor my mother inherited my her mother's green thumb. So I'm glad somebody that does. Lisa Joe says, I was right here as it went down. Oh, last night? Are you talking about last night? Yeah, I think you were here. I think FarQ was here. I think Miss Paula was here. There was a few people here, and it just completely kicked me out of. I couldn't get StreamYard to come up on my laptop. It kicked me out of StreamYard on my phone, and and then Chris sent me a text and said, "You know you're live, right?" I'm like, I know, but I can't get back into StreamYard to end the stream. I finally managed to do it, but anyway, hopefully that will not happen tonight. Thank you, Junior. Yes, please, everybody hit the like button. It does help the algorithm, supposedly, allegedly. Get caught. Okay, so deadheading is trimming off the dead blooms. I knew it had something to do with pruning or whatever the term is. Let's see. Get caught up. We will get started. Junior says the screen is really blurry. It's probably my farm signal. I apologize if it's a blur. Well, Biscuit has decided to let himself out, so I'll go ahead and. Did I shut the door? I'm trying to shut the door, that way I won't have to stop in the middle in case he decides to run amok. Anyway, yeah, if the screen is, it might not be. It's probably not you, Junior. It's probably because when I'm watching it on my phone, everything looks crystal clear, and then I'll go back and watch replays sometimes just to, make sure everything was kosher, and it's blurry, and I sound like R2D2, and so it's probably on my end. My farm signal is, you guys know about my farm signal. All right, so I think I'm caught up. So I'll mark there, and first, if I can get my slideshow added, there it is. I'm going to talk about a couple of Arkansas missing persons. This is Tyler White. He is missing from Jacksonville, Arkansas. The Jacksonville Police Department has asked for the public's help in locating Tyler. According to reports, 17-year-old Tyler White was last seen on April 29th, but he was reported as a runaway on June 10th. He is 5 foot 10 inches tall. He weighs about 120 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. Reports say that he was last known to be staying somewhere in the Jacksonville area. And for anybody not familiar or kind of familiar with Arkansas, Jacksonville is very, very close to North Little Rock in the central Arkansas area. So anyone with information regarding Tyler's whereabouts is urged to contact Detective Burke at 501-982-3191 at extension 6481. And the reference, it gives the report number is 25-02786. So that is Sean. And I don't know why it took them so long, because I said, the last time he was seen was April 29th, and then he was reported as a runaway on June 10th. But sometimes things fall through the cracks, or family or friends may think he's somewhere else, and they'll think, he's somewhere, and so it just. But hopefully we can get the word out about this young man, get him home safe and sound. Arctic says he'll send Sylvester to play with Biscuit, and you can see what a real brain damaged kitty is like. Oh, man. I don't know if I can handle 2 broken kitties. One is enough. Poor little Biscuit is enough. I mean, Biscuit is self-sufficient. He can do everything a normal cat does, but he's just a little wonky in the head sometimes. Anyway, but he had a near-death experience when he was a kitten, and he came back to life, and so anyway, but yeah, we need to have a play date with little Sylvester and little Biscuit, see how that goes. Yes, Mustang says, once again, please hit the like button, share the link out, absolutely, let anybody that you might think might be interested in this, let them know. And tonight I've got to stay awake, and Dave should be live tonight. Usually around midnight 30 to 1 a.m. Central Time. Of course, Dave is on Eastern Time. So I'm going to have to make myself stay awake tonight. I've been missing Dave a lot lately, but I'm going to get over there tonight. There's Miss Doodle. She says her usual hello, beautiful humans. You are a beautiful I can't talk. Beautiful human as well, Miss Doodle. Good to see you as always. Please check out all these creators, Miss Doodle, Miss Nicole and the gang at Stolen Spirits, Miss Paula, Arctic. I apologize if I forget anybody. Mr. Steve. Mr. Steve actually popped in. Was it Monday night on the Missing Person Monday stream? He actually popped in, so we had a Mr. Steve sighting. Very happy to see Mr. Steve. He's been out doing that. He's been moving, I think, and then working on cold cases. So it's been a while since he's been around, but that is okay because he is doing the important work. All right. Thank you, Miss Doodle and Arctic are getting links in. Thank you so much, guys. I always forget to thank you guys for doing that and for everything that you guys do. Absolutely. All right. So that was Tyler. So next we have Miss Joynell. Miss Joynell has been missing, I think, about a month now. I do have a video I'm going to play with some comments. It was done just right after she went missing. I believe she went missing around the May 13th, I believe. It probably says on the flyer. Yes, May 13th. So it's been a little bit over a month now that Miss Joynell Brandon has been missing. Got to get this lady, find this lady, bring her home safe. When I play this video, it's just going to break your heart with her kids talking. But just the basics. Miss Joynell is 43-year-old black female. She's been missing from Pine Bluff, Arkansas since May 13th of 2025. She was last seen on University Avenue wearing black leggings, a black and gold blouse, and carrying a rainbow purse. She is 5'2" tall, around 220 pounds, with brown eyes and brown hair. She has a nose ring, which you can see. Hope you guys can see it okay in the slide. So the nose ring, and she does have visible scarring from burns down the right side of her neck and her right arm. So let's say those are the most distinctive things to look for with Miss Joynell. She does have diagnosed mental health conditions. She does not have her required medication with her, which is absolutely worrying. So if you have any information, contact local authorities immediately. You can call 911, or you can call the Pine Bluff Police Department at 870-541. Sorry, I'm trying to read off the little screen. 5300. So that is Miss Joynell. Yes, she is gorgeous. She just looks like just such a beautiful lady. You can just see just such a light in her eyes, and this one has got me. I mean, a lot of, always all missing persons cases, especially from here in Arkansas, of course I carry with me, but this one has just grabbed a hold of me. But it's just got to have hope. Got to have hope. And I'm going to show you this video here in a minute as soon as I get caught up again. Junior says Steve said he's going to write a book on how to move in 1,000 days. Holy moly! Yeah, he was moving from Georgia down to Florida. Lordy mercy, I don't envy him at all. Do not envy him at all. Bless his heart. Yeah, Doodle said, Junior, will the book be out in 1,000 days? Probably so. Oh, goodness. Yes, we're also going to talk about that. Has anything been confirmed yet? Because I know they found remains. They were sent to the crime lab. And I do have a video about, but I have not checked for updates today about if it has been absolutely confirmed, although just we can infer or assume, we really not to assume, speculate that it is going to be her. Okay, Doodle says, okay, it has been confirmed. Okay, I'll try to find a recent article then when we get to that. But yeah, that's just, as soon as I heard about that and saw that, of course, they had it on the local news, I was like, But as Miss Barb would say, bittersweet, bittersweet. Miss Paula, you're talking about Miss Joynell. In my opinion, yes, some things are very suspicious to me. So let me play the video right quick. Let me get caught up. I think I jumped ahead when I saw Arctic's comment about Jessica. So Miss Lisa Joe says, in the near future, I'm going to call on all of you live streamers to cover the St. Louis Jane Doe. Absolutely. Absolutely. We can have a group live stream or however you want to do it, ma'am. Just send me the details, and I'll see what I can. So it's been confirmed as Jessica. Okay. All right. All right. So let me get my geese in a row here. Okay, unmark that. Mark there. All right. And forgive me, I did not preload. I have, I think, 5 videos I'm going to play tonight about some of the stuff we're going to talk about. I did not preload them into, so I'm going to have to do them one at a time. So let me go fetch the video on Miss Joynell, and I will play it, and I will be right back.
In Pine Bluff, a mother of 3 vanished without a trace. Joynell Brandon hasn't been seen in nearly a week, and now her children are racing against time to find her and get her the daily medication she needs. THV 11's Maya Ellison brings us the family's emotional plea for help.
It's been hard. It's been very challenging each day that we don't hear her voice, see her face, or just know where she is.
It's been nearly a week since MJ and her 2 siblings have seen their mother, Joynell Brandon. According to Pine Bluff Police, Brandon was last seen here last Tuesday on University Avenue.
On maybe 9 o'clock, whenever we took her over to a family friend's house, which is a guy that's been in our family around for a long time, and he's very trustable. And he informed us that she was picked up by the guy in the white box truck from his residence.
MJ tells me she was told that her mom was dropped off around the corner from their home rather than at their doorstep. That night, she also received a message that did not seem normal.
I also received a message from my mother around 1:56 a.m. asking to please open the door. She doesn't text in complete sentences, and that message was a little off to me. And then I got up to open the door. She never came home.
The next day, there was still no word from Miss Brandon. On top of not knowing where she is, MJ tells me her mom relies on medication, making this even more odd.
My mom is known to communicate with us and contact us, and it just wasn't like her to text my sister and say, unlock the door, when she's going to call when she's outside.
On Wednesday, she notified Pine Bluff Police about her mom. Law enforcement officials providing this description of Brandon. She's listed at 5'2" with distinctive burn scars on her neck and right arm. But MJ tells me it's been a restless week searching for her mom.
I hear my mother's voice every time I close my eyes. And it's heartbreaking, it's hard. Because I want to rest, but my body and my mind won't let me find my mom.
That search is what keeps hope alive for MJ and her family.
And we won't stop. We will not stop. Day and night, 24 hours, we will not stop.
In Pine Bluff, Maya Ellison, THV 11 News.
Thank you, Maya. If you have any information on her whereabouts, you are asked to contact the Pine Bluff Police Department's office, and that number can be found on our website, thv11.com.
All right. That was obviously Miss Joynell's daughter and son. It just breaks my heart. I've watched this video I don't know how many times. It's just so sad. So, as somebody mentioned, such a beautiful, beautiful lady with a beautiful family. And Paula was asking, you know, if it's suspicious. Go back and find her comment. To me, the most suspicious part, and feel free to let me know in chat what you guys think, is the phone call that her daughter got. Maybe, possibly, probably at the bottom of my list, this friend, the family friend that she was with. But then the family friend said something about she left with a guy in a white box truck. And I think we talked about this a little bit on our Missing Person Monday live stream. I mean, to me, that's just such a distinct, you know, hard to miss, at least in my part where I live. We don't see a whole lot of white box trucks around here. But yeah, definitely, in my opinion, definitely suspicious. Absolutely. So just, and the poster, or the missing poster that's on the right hand side of the slide, I do have it on Facebook and on my community tab. Please share it anywhere and everywhere you can to help keep Joynell's face out there. And hopefully we'll get a happy ending. Absolutely. All right, let me get caught up once again. Okay, so Miss Lisa Joe was talking about, are you talking about the Jane Doe? She says the director of the documentary wants to put out a series with some more interviews, etc. But we're going to need to do some crowdfunding, and her case needs more attention. Lots of people don't know. Excellent. Like I said, just let me know. Message me on Messenger or email or whatever, so I can read it, study up on it. Absolutely. Sorry, I'm just reading some. Okay. Okay. So that was Miss Joynell. Okay, so next, this is in regards to, now we know, and while the video is playing, I will try to find a recent article about this, although not that I don't believe you guys, but just something to read. So let me play the video right quick and find which one it is. Once again, I'll have to go fetch it. All right. Be right back. Hold on, guys. I'm having technical difficulties. I'm getting it. Hold on. 1 minute. 1 minute. There we go.
Skeletal remains have been found near the spot where a woman vanished while on a solo camping trip last month. WRG's Harrison Klopp has more on the discovery from Greene County, Arkansas.
Skeletal remains found near Lake Ashball yesterday by a Greene County detective and a member of a civilian search party. The Greene County Sheriff's Department has not identified who was found, saying in a statement, quote, "Until further investigation is learned from the crime lab, no information will be released." Last month, WREG's Mike Sirianni reported on the disappearance of Jessica Page Kemp, a 32-year-old Paragould resident, originally from Munford, Tennessee, who had gone missing after she was camping alone near Lake Ashball in northeast Arkansas. Kemp was last seen on May 5th. Kemp's family was searching extensively for her across Greene County, hoping she was still alive.
Somebody may have taken her. At this time, we just don't know. I just want her found alive, and I want her to come home.
Police were able to find Kemp's abandoned car with her purse and items scattered inside, but there was no sign of Kemp. Again, no confirmation if the skeletal remains were Kemp's, and we will let you know when the Greene County Sheriff's Department has released new findings in their investigation. From Greene County, Arkansas, I'm Harrison Klopp for your news leader, WREG News Channel 3.
I can tell you we did reach out to Jessica Kemp's family, but were unable to get a statement.
Still to
Okay. I was just looking for, and I think I have, I didn't remove it. I'll put her flyer up there. That's her flyer. I'm looking for, there's some Facebook posts, if they'll come up. Like I said, Arctic and Doodle said it has been confirmed. So just thoughts and prayers, absolutely, to Jessica's family. Of course, Facebook is not going to come up. Let me check your comments while I'm waiting to see if it'll come up. There's JP. Hello, JP. Good to see you, my friend. He's stopping in to say hi to everybody. Hello, JP. I hope you are doing well, sir. Good to see you. Yep, Doodle says family has confirmed one was with the detective. What part of Arkansas are you talking about, Jessica? Oh goodness, what part of Arkansas was it in? Greene County. I am thinking it's up in northern part of Arkansas. I'm not entirely sure. Let me see if this Facebook, of course, it's not come up. Oh, there it is. Okay. So this is from Tennessee Missing and Unsolved, a Facebook page. It says, please keep the loved ones of Jessica Page Kemp in your thoughts and prayers. Her earthly remains were found on June 10th, 2025 near Lake Ashball. Her loved ones did not take her disappearance lightly. They searched, asked, and did everything within their power to find her. Their search is now over, but the question of what happened to her still remains a haunting mystery. Jessica was a former resident of Tipton County, Tennessee, who went missing from Paragould, Arkansas. Trying to picture my Arkansas map. She was last seen alive on May 5th, 2025 at a campsite. They talked about that on the video. It says, please remember the beautiful Jessica Page Kemp. If you have any further information, please get in touch with authorities in your area. So just such, not the ending we wanted, but once again, bittersweet. Bittersweet. Thank you. Yep, definitely prayers. What area is Greene County? Northeast. I said north. I was thinking northeast. Yeah, Arctic said northeast. Northeast part of Arkansas. So I was pointing to northeast. Northeast. Okay. Yes, Paragould. She's originally from Tennessee. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, it is heartbreaking. I'm wondering if, because I think I read an article that Jessica may have had some mental health struggles, or it could have been something nefarious. I'm trying to figure out how to say this without being, and I always forget to put up my banner. How to say things without being too, depending on the state of the remains, they might be able to determine the COD. I don't know. It's just sad all the way around. Mustang says, it's close to where I am at Paragould, I believe. Oh yeah, I forgot. Mustang's another Arkansan. Yep. Miss Doodles says, if only that officer would not have called off the ambulance for the mental health call, the outcome may have been different. Yep. Absolutely. Oh, Mustang says it's on the other side of the state, about 5 hours away from them. So yeah, once again, obviously thoughts, prayers to Jessica's family, and hopefully they can determine what happened to her. All right. Take that down. Next, I'm glad Miss Shawn is still here. We have Jamie Valdez, which is Miss Shawn is in here. That is Jamie's sister. And April 9th, once again, marked the 4-year anniversary that Jamie has been missing. Like I said, I've kept up with this case, done videos, live streams, as well as Arctic and probably Doodle and all the creators here and podcast. I'm just trying to keep His face, his name, his story out there, and get some answers and some closure for Miss Shawn and the family. So I got, let me find just the basics. Let me find my article. There it is. Once again, I'm just going to read this from solvethecase.org. But once again, I do have a playlist. I've done a short video on Jamie. I did a deep dive live stream that gives a lot of information that Miss Shawn had given to me at the time. So please do. And I can't remember if I linked it in the description box. Just go to my playlist. It says Jamie Valdez. Please do watch both of them, especially the deep dive. It will give you lots of information that's not included in this. And then I'm going to play, once again, Miss Shawn graciously gave me permission to show the video that they played at the vigil that they had the other day. So I'll read this and then I'll play that. So once again, this is just from solvethecase.org. James Lubin Valdez left home on June 9th, 2021, after getting in an argument with his newly married wife when she picked up an extra shift at work. He left in the family's 2010 blue Chevy Equinox. He was seen eating dinner with friends on June 12th of 2021. After that, he has not been seen again. His vehicle was recovered on June 19th of 2021, abandoned. Jamie, once again, he and his wife, Anna, had an argument over, I think if they had planned to spend some time together, and then she picked up an extra shift at work after they had planned to spend the day together. They had been married a little over a month at that time. So Jamie became upset. He threw some clothes in his car, said he was going to go to Ozark, Arkansas, where his daughter lives. Anna went ahead and went to work. And apparently sometime after that, Jamie went there and asked if he could go home. She told him just to do whatever he wanted to do, apparently. Jamie and Anna had moved in with her mother after her mother had fallen and broken her back. So Anna's brother, who does have a criminal history past, also lived at the residence at the time. Jamie went back to the house. He packed more clothes and got around $600 from Anna's mom and left. 10 days later, on June 19th, 2021, his vehicle, the 2010 gray Chevy Equinox, was found abandoned in a secluded area, which was a local swimming hole in Sugar Grove. It was called Bluff Hole. So it was Anna's boss's, so Jamie's wife's, let me get this right. Boss's husband was a friend of Jamie's, and he is the one who actually found the vehicle. And when Anna first went to the vehicle, she took a couple of pictures and sent them, I believe, to Miss Shawn, and asked if she should contact the authorities. And obviously, yes. The car doors were locked. The front seat was pulled all the way forward, and it was ripped at the seam. The back seat was laid down. Cadaver dogs and search teams searched for Jamie for a couple of days. About 100 feet from where the car was parked, they located Jamie's health insurance card, as well as some receipts out of his wallet. They also noted that parts of the engine of the vehicle had been dismantled. A missing persons report was filed on June 22nd of 2023. So in the ensuing months and years, several searches have been done, or were done over the course of the first year. A podcaster and a family advocate were able to do an interview with Anna, and she had his old iPhone that was still connected to the cloud. They were able to do last phone location for his new iPhone 11. They gave the information to law enforcement, and the search was done that day, but nothing was located. A gentleman named John told neighbors that he saw Jamie walking with a gentleman named Tom carrying an armful of clothing. This Tom fellow denied even knowing Jamie. John later said it wasn't Jamie he saw with Tom after all when he was shown a photo by the chief of police. A person who had been in jail told the chief that another person in jail had said that he had taken Jamie out in the woods and left him there. The same person told people in the community that the one he said left him there also said he tied him up in a tree. So there's just a lot of stories and rumors and things that have gone around in the years. So there was a writing on the back of the car that said, "Help me, he is near." This turned out to be nothing. It was a group of teenagers pulling a prank, basically. Missing from the car and not recovered were Jamie's car keys, his cell phone, and a handgun. Jamie does suffer from diabetes, but he is not insulin dependent. He also is a recovering addict. He had gone through rehab, and he had been sober for 13 months prior to his disappearance. So that is just, like I said, just the basics of for anybody who's not familiar with the case. Like I said, once again, watch my playlist, anything Arctic's done, just get on YouTube or wherever, or Google, and just Google Jamie Valdez and things will pop up. All right, so let me check comments really quick to see if Miss Shawn or anybody had anything to say, and then I'll play the video, and it's about a 6.5 minute video. So get your hankies ready, get your tissue ready, because I've watched it several times and I get teary-eyed every time I watch it. Let me see where I left off here. Absolutely, Miss Shawn, you are most welcome. Anything for you, ma'am. That's what I told you in the anything for you and Jamie. Oh, it's Junior's bedtime. He's been up since 6 a.m. Yeah, Junior gets up with the chickens. He's got to get ready for bed. Thank you, Junior, for being here. Always a pleasure having Junior here. He's one of our OGs, original guys around here. Absolutely, absolutely, yes. And also, I did link in the description box the YouTube channel that Miss Shawn set up, and there are some, are they interrogations or some kind of interviews or interrogations with Anna? Please go watch them. Please watch them, and you'll get a feeling for what Arctic is saying here. Absolutely. Miss Nicole agrees. I agree. Also, two also. All right. Me. All right. So this video is about a little bit over 6.5 minutes. So I will go fetch it, and I will be right back.
Whisper underneath your I know it's all you've got to just be strong. And it's a fight just to keep it together. I know you think that you are too far gone, but hope is never lost. Hope is never lost. Hold on, don't let go. Hey, hold on, don't let go.
Don't stop your crying, it'll be alright. Just take my hand, hold it tight. I will protect you from all around you. I will be here, don't you cry. For once so small, you seem so strong. My arms will hold you, keep you safe and warm. This bond between us can't be broken. I will be here, don't you cry. 'Cause you're in my heart. Yes, you're in my heart. If I had only known the last time would be the last time, I would have put off all the things I had to do. I would have stayed a little longer, held on a little tighter. Now what I'd give for one more day with you. Cause there's a wound here in my heart where something's missing. And they tell me that it's gonna heal with time. But I know you're in a place where all your wounds have been erased. And knowing yours are healed is healing mine.
Hell yeah. I got one too.
Oh, look at y'all, look at y'all, look at y'all.
Get him.
Oh, come here, come here. That boy's sleepy. That boy's sleepy.
Okay, guys, we're back. Sorry, I was trying to get myself together. I was blowing my nose. Whew. It doesn't matter how many times I've watched that video. I cry every time. Um. Anyway, I don't know how well the videos are playing tonight, but all the news videos I've been playing, everything is linked in the description box. The video I just played, it's beautiful, beautiful tribute to Jamie. The individual video, the link to that particular video is in the under the sources section, and then the link to the YouTube channel, I believe, is at the top of the description. So please, any the videos are choppy or you can't hear them, please do go rewatch them. But that's just such a beautiful, beautiful tribute to Jamie. I just words can't describe. I just, I tried to put some of you guys' comments up while the video was playing. So let me, I know Miss Barb made it in. Hello, Miss Barb. Always good to have Miss Barb here. one of my favorite humans in the whole wide world. Let's see. Lost my place here. So welcome, Sammy G. Good to have you here. Good to see you. And Miss Shawn had said we're going to the AG. I don't know what AG is. AG Missing Persons event this Tuesday. We're always looking for ways to get Jamie's name out there. Middle-aged men don't get a lot of exposure unless you really push. That is unfortunately true. But lots of us out here are pushing, absolutely. I will always keep until Miss Shawn and the family get some kind of answers, closure. I will keep doing, if I have to repost the same videos and make new ones, I will. And I know everybody out there will too. And you guys share, absolutely. We will keep pushing. We will keep Jamie's name, his face, his story out there. Absolutely. Yes, thank you. Mustang says justice for Timmy D's also. Absolutely. Miss Barb is another. Miss Barb is Timmy D's mother. And once again, if you don't know about Timmy D's case, just go to YouTube or anywhere, search Timmy D's. I've done a lot of stuff on him. Miss Barb has the Lawless Files, bunches and bunches. Miss Barb did find Timmy, but now she's just trying to get justice for what happened to him. Absolutely. And Timmy is another one we will absolutely keep pushing and keep his name and his story and his face out there until he and Miss Barb get justice. Absolutely. Yes, Miss Doodle says life is precious. Love them while you have them. Absolutely. Yeah, Miss Shawn says his laugh gets me every time. No one laughs like he does. Oh, I know that laugh. Yes, that was a beautiful video. Absolutely. Like I said, to get the full effect, because a couple of times when I watched it, I would pause it when it had the little placards of people talking about sharing stories about Jamie. I would pause it so I could read them. So please do that. Yeah. Doodle says that laugh is adorable. Absolutely. Yep. An amazing video for sure. And if I haven't already shared it on my community tab, I will do it. Either tonight when I get off of here or tomorrow before I go to work. Yes, Miss Paula says great video. Absolutely. Excellent job, Miss Shawn. Thank you, Miss Barbara. You know, you're welcome here anytime, ma'am. I understand. We understand. Says, love you all. Thank you for your support. Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely. Oh, AG. Okay, Attorney General. Got it. All right. Sometimes I'm a little slow. It takes me a minute. Absolutely. Miss Shawn says, I appreciate you guys pushing for us. Yes, absolutely. Yes, all the love and prayers to Miss Barbara also. Yes, Arctic says, Miss Shawn, I'll have to bring you on my podcast soon now that I'm back on a regular schedule. Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Jamie and Morgan Nick both went missing on June 9th. Yep, like I said, Jamie is 4 years and Morgan is 30 years, I believe, the 30-year anniversary. All right, I think I'm caught up. So yes, once again, watch anything and everything you can find on Jamie's case, podcasts, YouTube videos, whatever it is, news articles. Share. The most important thing, keep his name and face and story out there. That is the absolute most important thing that we can do. All right, let's see what we have next. So this story, actually, this story started out, was it Monday on the Missing Person Monday live stream? Arctic was here and he said that there was an Amber Alert out of Maryland for this little, I can't hardly look at the face without crying now that we know the details. This beautiful little baby here had supposedly, the story that came out was she was with the mother and something about they had stopped on the side of the road for the mom was going to comfort little Nola. Her name is Nola Dinkins. And mysteriously, I guess it was on the side of the road, and the story that the mother gave was an armed man came up and took little Nola at gunpoint. But since then, we have unfortunately learned it took a very horrific turn. And it's just an absolutely horrifying, devastating case. And I do have a video on it. Oh, yep, I absolutely agree. Artist says that mother needs an appointment with the wood chipper. Yep. Now I want to go watch Fargo again and just, okay, I'm not going to go there. Yes, she is adorable. Just look at that angel, that little baby face. Mustang says, Southern Gal or Arctic, did you see any protests today? There weren't any here. The only place I went to was one town over to work today, and I didn't see any of course, I live in a very small, not the backwoods, but kind of out in the boondocks in a very rural part of Arkansas. So, but I've heard about on the news, of course, they were talking about it. Yes, Miss Shawn says the saddest story, she's such a precious little girl. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Because yeah, Mr. Steve was here that night. Mustang said Mr. Steve knew something was suspicious right away. Yeah, he made some kind of comment about no mother or father or whatever would ever they would fight tooth and nail before they would let somebody take their child, even at gunpoint. So yeah, Mr. Steve he's a smart fella. I don't care what anybody says. Minnesota, what? Mr. Joe said Minnesota. Oh, I heard about, yes, some bad stuff happened in Minnesota today too. Miss Paula said Miss PJ is covering the protest on her channel. There's two near me in Dover and in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Yes, I heard about that on the news. Was it like some kind of legal, or who was it? Lawmakers or something? Unfortunately, was it him and his wife? Were they both killed? And then somebody else, some kind of officials were injured, also shot. It's just horrible. It's just craziness out there. Craziness. Oh yeah, Arctic says don't even get him started on what happened in Minnesota. Exactly. All right. Let me go fetch this video for little Nola here. Just trigger warning. It's on the banner, but definitely trigger warning for this story. It doesn't get graphic, but it's just the nature of the events. So let me see which one it is.
Part of Philly, this is CBS News, Philadelphia at 11. An Amber Alert becomes a homicide investigation. The search for a 3-year-old girl reported missing from Delaware comes to a tragic end. The investigation crossed state lines into Cecil County, Maryland, where a body is uncovered. The mother of that little girl is facing murder charges tonight. Good evening, I'm Don Bell, in for Yuki Washington. 3-year-old Nola Dinkins was reported missing from Newark, Delaware last night. Investigators say Darian Randall told officers her daughter was abducted at gunpoint, but police say that was all a lie. CBS Philadelphia's Siafa Lewis is in the newsroom with the details of the investigation. Siafa.
A very troubling story. Good evening, Dan. Earlier this evening, Maryland State Police announced that they have arrested Nola Dinkins' mother, 31-year-old Darian Randall, and a man believed to be her boyfriend, 44-year-old Cedric Antoine Britton. Nola's mother, Darian, is charged with first and second degree murder, first degree of child abuse resulting in the death of a minor under 13, and other related criminal charges, while Britton is charged with accessory to first and second degree murder after the fact, failure to report child death, and other charges. It all started, as you mentioned, Don, last night when Darian Randall reported that her daughter was kidnapped at gunpoint after she had stopped her car to comfort Nola in Newark, Delaware. That resulted in an Amber Alert being issued for Nola. Law enforcement agencies in Delaware and Maryland then began investigations, leading to this evening's discoveries.
Information gleaned throughout the investigation revealed that the initial report provided by Randall was false and that Amber Alert was subsequently canceled. Information that was gleaned through the investigation of the Maryland State Police Homicide Unit led to human remains found in a vacant lot today at 1:45 p.m. in the northeast region of Cecil County.
Nola's mother, Darian, is currently in police custody at the Newcastle County Division of Police awaiting extradition to Maryland. Cedric Britton is in police custody in Maryland. Don.
Troubling story. Siafa, thank you.
I mean, I have no words. How can somebody do this to any child, much less their own child? It's just heartbreaking. I just don't know. Like I said, I have no words. Just look at that beautiful little face there, and I had my suspicions too, especially when Mr. Steve made that, because I'm thinking that story just didn't, I don't know. You know, usually when you hear about child kidnappings, it's not really done that way at, gunpoint and all this stuff. But I don't know. And then we've come to find out that wasn't the real story. It's just horrible. So we'll keep an eye on this, and hopefully the mother and the boyfriend, which I don't think was little Nola's father, are prosecuted. Allegedly, if they did it, prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Just my opinion. Okay, so going to the Minnesota, Miss Lisa Joe said Democratic lawmakers, the Speaker of the House and her husband were killed, and then Senator Hoffman and his wife were pew-pewed multiple times, but had made it out of surgery last I heard. Telling you, this world is gone cuckoo. Gone cuckoo. It's just every day, it's just something else. Yes, absolutely. Mustang says crazy things are going on everywhere. You got that right. Absolutely. All right. So just thoughts, prayers to little Nola, whatever other family she has. Like I said, we'll keep an eye on it and see what happens. All right. This, I believe, is a cold case, and I should have had, hopefully I don't have a video for this one. I couldn't find a video. But I do have an article. I think this should be LeAnna Warner. There's been a renewed call for to get this story back out into the public. This article is from care11.com, and it is from June June 11th of this year, obviously. And this is a Minnesota case, Chisholm, Minnesota. It says this week marks 22 years since anyone has seen LeAnna Warner. LeAnna was a 5-year-old girl living in Chisholm, Minnesota on June 14th, 2003. She had just returned from the lake with her mother when she was given permission to walk to a neighbor's home. The neighbors were not home, and that's the last time anyone heard from or saw LeAnna. Officials say she had been wearing a one-piece blue denim dress with an attached belt with a red garnet stone in her right pierced ear. She has a wart at the base of her left ankle, and she was affectionately known as Beaner. Sorry, ads are popping up. Chisholm Police Chief James Vucad says the case remains open, active, and a top priority for his department. He says our team continues to investigate all credible leads, including those made possible through advanced DNA profiling techniques. And this is from an email that he sent to this website I'm reading from. While we have not had a major breakthrough to date, our efforts have never wavered, and we remain hopeful that one day we will find the answers that we have been searching for. He added that he is new to being police chief of the northern Minnesota city, but this case deeply matters to all of us. LeAnna's story has touched the hearts of many, and we are committed to doing everything in our power to bring her home. Her family and this community deserve closure. An age-progressed image, which is obviously the one on the right-hand side of the slide, was created to show what LeAnna might look like at the age of 27. So anyone with information is encouraged to contact the Chisholm Police Department at 218-254-7915 or NCMEC at 1-800-THE-LOST, which is 1-800-843-5678. So being from Minnesota, Miss Lisa may know about this case. So I'll probably either clip this down or I'll make a short video, one of my short missing cold case missing videos about this and get it uploaded as soon as I can. Oh, yeah, Miss Lisa Joe says she disappeared like 10 minutes from me. Oh, I hope you get to feeling better. Arctic says, I'll be listening from the bushes, have a bit of a migraine, and can't do screen time right now. Feel better, my friend. Feel better. We understand. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So that was LeAnna. Another beautiful, beautiful little girl. Miss Lisa Joe says, yes, her mother got dragged for years for letting Beaner walk down the street. She passed away a year or two ago now, and asked her daughters to keep searching. So she had other children. Why? I mean, so she disappeared in, what year was it? It was 22 years ago. I mean, maybe not so much now, but, definitely 30 years ago when I was a kid, or more than that, 40 years ago when I was a kid, we walked up and down the streets by ourselves. I mean, it was just, times were different back then. And I don't know how big a town or a city Chisholm is. Oh, it's 2000. Okay, 2001. Okay, but still, I mean, and she was. I forgot what I read. What I just read. Telling you, my mind is. So she was 5 years old. I mean, she was walking to a neighbor's home. Now, it could have been, just right across the street or just down a block. I mean, and the thing that gets me we should never, unless there's good reason, like in Nola's case that we just talked about, to with the parents are definitely guilty of something, allegedly guilty of something. A lot of times when people give parents or whoever a hard time about, well, why did you let your child do this or that? It's because people, I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. People raise their children and let their children do things differently. Just because somebody doesn't raise their child or do everything the way you do it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with that. You guys know what I'm trying to get at here. Everybody raises and teaches and does things differently, and how they parent, how they raise their children, how they live their life. Just because it's not the way that you would do it doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just, so I think some of that comes from, just, oh my God, I would never, never, ever let my 5-year-old or whatever walk down the street. Well, that's fine for you. It may have been a normal thing. She may have done it a million times before and nothing ever happened. Anyway, I will get off my soapbox. I mean, when we were 5, of course, we live in a small town, but things happen in small towns too. Of course, we live out in the country on the farm, but we, would go to town to play with friends, and we would be walking up and down the street. We would walk to the city park or walk to somebody else's house to play, and then back to another, friend to play. And, luckily, thank God, nothing ever happened. It's just, things happen. That's it. Things happen. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's the parents' fault. Absolutely. Lisa Joe says, it'll come up. I think I was pregnant with my youngest. That'll be 2001. Okay. Absolutely. Mustang understands. Street lights were our curfews. Absolutely. You must be around the same age I am. Yes, we knew when the street lights came on, we either needed to get back to whatever friend we were spending the night with, or we needed to get back to whatever friend's house that our parents or whoever was going to pick us up from and bring us home. But yeah. See, Lisa just says it's a smaller town. So, I mean, it's just every town is different. Every situation is different, But yeah, just anybody who gives parents grief. I mean, when the parent loses a child, has a missing child, doesn't know what happened, they're going through enough as it is. You don't need people, why did that, in your face, questioning you, See, Miss Lisa Joe says it was down the block a ways. Maybe she had to cross the street. I mean, yeah, it's not like she had to walk, 10 miles somewhere, Growing up, it would not be unusual for a 5, 6, 7-year-old to walk a block to a friend's house. I mean, Miss Lisa Joe says the family went through hell. Mustang understands what I'm saying. Thank you. Miss Lisa Joe said no, someone should be on the soapbox about it. I'll get on the soapbox when I need to. Okay. See, I'm gonna have to look deeper into this and definitely do a video. Lisa Joe said a person of interest that was found with CSAM took their own life. I have to look into that. Yeah, absolutely. Lisa Joe says, I'm sure the mother spent the rest of her life wishing that she hadn't let her go. Absolutely. She's got to live with that. Even though she shouldn't feel guilty, she's going to probably lived with that guilt of why did I let her go? But I mean, it's just, you don't, 9 times out of 10, nothing's going to happen. It's going to be perfectly fine. But just sometimes, that 1 time out of 10 that, some nefarious person or whatever comes around and something does happen. I mean, we can't we can't live in fear. We can't keep our children sheltered and not let them go out and experience playing with friends or experience life or whatever. And I say this knowing that because the Missing Person Monday live stream, actually, I did it Tuesday because Monday, my 18-year-old youngest nephew left to fly out to another state for part of the summer to visit some of his family out there. And I'm texting my brother, have you heard from him? Have you heard from James? Have you heard from James? He's like, yes, I talk to him every day. Even when they're 18, 19, 20, no matter how old they are, you still worry, but you have to let them go and experience life and hope, trust that you've taught them well, taught them the right things, and that they make good decisions, and, pray and hope for the best. And Miss Lisa Joe says Dateline or someone covered the case. Absolutely. I will definitely look into this more. I had this, or came across this. I think it came up in my For You page or whatever, suggestions on Google, and found it. So whenever I come across stories like this on Google, I always bookmark them so I'll remember them. All right. I'll quit my babbling now. All right. So I think the last thing we have is, aside from whatever you guys want to talk about afterwards, we haven't even been on here an hour and a half. We're doing good. Morgan Nick, once again, April 9th was 30 years that okay, Miss Lisa Joe, going back to LeAnna, says I reached out to her sisters and offered to help however I can. I should reach out again. Yes, excellent. Absolutely. You don't have to be sorry about anything. You're fine. You are fine, Miss Lisa Joe. We're here to talk about whatever. So anybody who's not familiar with Morgan Nick case, it's of course got national attention, obviously. April 9th was 30 years that Morgan has been missing. Now in her case, they do have a suspect. Now he has passed away. He passed away in prison, actually, for the essay of another young girl who I believe was a family member. No, he wasn't in prison for that. Okay, so Billy Jack Links, and they'll explain some of this. I do have an article to read in a video. And Billy Jack Links, he had essayed one of his family members. So this guy, I'm telling you this because this guy should have, if he's the one that did this, should never have been out on the street. He had essayed a minor family member. He basically got a slap on the wrist and had to go do some classes. And then he got caught, I believe it was two months, I believe, after Morgan went missing. He tried to abduct a young girl at a Sonic in, I believe it was Van Buren. The Van Buren, Alma area. She went missing from Alma, all in the same area up there, up Arctic's Way. And so he was in prison for that. He ultimately passed away in prison from natural causes. They had video of a truck from the ball game. She went missing from a Little League baseball game. They had video of this red truck with a white camper shell. They found out that Billy Jack Links owned a truck similar. Years and years later, they found the truck. They found a hair. Did this advanced DNA testing, and Colleen, Morgan's mother, had given her DNA, and the DNA from the hair and the DNA that Colleen, and I believe maybe other members of the family, had submitted matched, or said that there was a familial match. So they're, who else would have been in that truck but Morgan? So they basically said Billy Jack Links was the prime suspect, but like I said, he's passed away years ago in prison. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about Morgan. since it is the 30-year. Her remains have never been found, unfortunately. So she still remains technically missing. Let me find the article. There it is. Okay. This is from the southwesttimes.com, and it is from June 6th of this year, 2025. Still no answers, but still searching. Alma police reflect on Morgan Nick case. As the 30th anniversary of Morgan Nick's disappearance approaches, Alma Police Chief Jeff Pointer says the case remains the department's top priority. He says, we won't stop until she's brought home. That's the same dedication we have with all of our cases. Morgan Nick, 6, vanished from a Little League baseball field in Alma on June 9th, 1995. Her case remains one of the longest active child abduction investigations in the United States. Pointer, who became police chief in 2019, started his career with the department in 1998 as a part-time dispatcher while still in high school. Although never assigned as a lead investigator, he has been involved, quote, here and there for years. He is only the second police chief to oversee the case, following Russell White, who led the department for 35 years, and he was chief at the time of Morgan's abduction. Sorry, I'm trying to get rid of these ads. From 4 officers, make sure I didn't skip anything. Okay. From 4 officers in 1995, the department has grown to 19 officers and 4 school resource officers in 2025, as Alma's population has expanded from 3,300 to about 5,500. 1 officer remains assigned to to Morgan's case, though they still take on other investigations as needed. One room at the police station is devoted to Morgan's case. It holds more than 10,000 leads. Some are just a few pages long, while others are hundreds of pages long. Chief Pointer says there's no way for one person to know everything. It's too large, too complex. We brief new investigators as they get involved, but it's mostly a learn-as-you-go approach. As tips still come in, even 30 years later, investigators track down leads when they can. Officers and community volunteers have been involved since the beginning. In the early days, some officers from nearby cities volunteered their weekends in Alma. Colleen, Morgan's mother, says, we didn't always see what was happening, but when we did, it just blew our minds. So many people were fighting for Morgan. Chief Pointer added, you have guys like Captain Brett Hartley and others who were involved on day one. Some have retired, others have stepped in, but the commitment has not changed. He believes the case sticks with everyone who has touched it. He says, some may see it as a failure, not solving it, but I don't. The progress we've made is thanks to decades of teamwork. This isn't my case. It's not Detective Sean Taylor's case. It's the Alma Police Department's case. Some of the department's newer officers weren't even born when Morgan was taken. However, they soon learned that her case remains the most important one. So now we'll get into the evidence that was found. In October of 2024, police announced new evidence linking Morgan or a relative to the red pickup truck once owned by Billy Jack Links, who was a longtime person of interest in Morgan's case. Advanced DNA testing now enables investigators to analyze a strand of hair rather than requiring a root sample. Morgan's relatives were ruled out, and none had any known connection to Links. While that progress is significant, Pointer emphasizes that technology does not replace face-to-face police work. He says you don't get the same read over email or a phone call. Talking to people in person, there's still no substitute. Pointer acknowledged that outside agencies have played a vital role in keeping the investigation active. The Arkansas State Police, which has assisted since day one, continues to assign an investigator. The U.S. Marshals assist in pursuing out-of-state leads, and the FBI Evidence Response Team remains involved. Their marshals have been a huge asset. We rely on these partners because we have other crimes and responsibilities as a small department, but the Nick case is never sidelined. Over time, Morgan's story has shaped how police and educators discuss safety with children across the River Valley. Her case is a frequent reference point when talking about stranger danger and situational awareness in schools. Pointer says, for a lot of kids, it's the first story like this that they ever hear. It is a teaching moment that if it can happen in Alma, it can happen anywhere. That's absolutely true, unfortunately. Because Alma, as you heard, was not a big town. When it happened, or when Morgan disappeared, I think it said it was like 3,300 people. That's just barely a little bit bigger than the town I live in. Very, very small. Very small. He hopes the anniversary brings attention, not just remembrance. Pointer says, we know more than we did 30 years ago, but we still have not brought Morgan home. That's what matters. That's why we're still asking questions. He also issued a direct plea. We cannot do this alone. Perhaps someone knows something and has not realized its importance. If this were your family member, what would you do? Call us, tell us. That one tip might be the thing we need. Absolutely. So that was just a little bit from some of the people who have worked on the case and some of the newer people that are working on the case. Just 30 years, and she's out there somewhere. She needs to be brought home. Get a drink. Get caught up in your comments, and then I'll play. It's a newer video that they shot it in the local news. I think on the 9th. Just kind of going over Morgan's case a little bit in a new interview with Colleen, her mother. But let me get caught up in your comments. And once again, I forgot to mark where I was at. Okay, here we go. Yes, the DNA was in the truck. Yes, it was. They found in the truck actually the strand of hair, and I think they found because when she went missing, she was wearing a green Girl Scout T-shirt, and I think they did find some green fibers that were similar to the shirt that Morgan was wearing when she disappeared. See, this is what Lisa Jo says. If it wasn't him, it was his son. I've always wondered. It could, in my opinion, it could be either or, because I don't want to get on a rant about this or a soapbox, but that's why we're here to talk about the case. But we all know that sketches are mostly unreliable, kind of like eyewitnesses are usually unreliable, and they did come from children. But to me, and there were 2 different sketches that were released, I believe, 2 or 3 different sketches that were released of the suspect that was seen when around the time that Morgan disappeared from the she actually disappeared. She was just like across the street in the playground or the parking lot playing with some other friends when she disappeared from the parking lot. But to me, the sketch always, because Billy Jack Links was in his 60s or 70s when Morgan disappeared, and to me the sketches have always looked a lot younger. To me, 30s, 40s. And once again, we're dealing with sketches, so take it with a grain of salt. But to me, I'd always thought it was somebody younger. But then again, it was dark also. But I think Arctic too has mentioned the son, that Billy Jack Links had a son. So I've always just had that nagging in the back of my head, that it could have been the son. Could have been the son. Yes, they said the DNA was a match for Morgan or a family member. Absolutely. Paula says, do they have any other suspects? Not that they've ever talked about publicly. The only one that they've ever talked about publicly and officially named as a person of interest / suspect is Billy Jack Links. But to me, I would be looking at the son too. You know, I mean, I don't know, obviously, but I would be looking at the son. Yep, Miss Nicole says it blows my mind how quickly and easily he took her and got away with so many people around. I know. Absolutely. It's just like that. It can happen just like that. Because I said she was with two friends. They were out. Apparently, there was a sand pile out there. The parking lot was kind of like one of those dirt grass parking lots. I think it's paved now, but when she disappeared, it was like, you know, one of those dirt grass, and there was a pile of sand at one end, and they were chasing fireflies and playing in the sand. Morgan and two of her friends, a female and a male. And it's about time for the ball game to get over with, so they were going to go back to meet up with their parents in the baseball stand in the stands. And Morgan just stopped to get sand out of her shoe and put it back on. And the little girl went on. The little boy waited for a minute, and then he went on. And just like that, she was gone. It's just so, it can happen so terrifying. It can happen. It just happens so fast. Yeah, after discovering the hair, yeah, like I said, they keep saying Billy Jack Link, either him or the son. Is Miss Barb okay? I hope she's doing okay. Yeah, Mustang says these POSs look for the best time to abduct. I mean, no one saw Morgan being taken at all with people all around. Absolutely. I'm trying to think if maybe there were some adults that also, because of course because the kids that were with her said that they'd seen this, what they called a creepy looking guy, kind of wandering around the parking lot. So that's where the description some of the sketches came from. But I'm thinking that maybe an adult or two had maybe seen, given a description of somebody that they thought looked suspicious, hanging around too, if I'm not mistaken. Miss Nicole says, I'm the same age and 45 minutes from where she went missing. I remember a time we could go to the toy section in Walmart while my mom shopped, and that changed after Morgan went missing. Exactly. Yep. And I worked at a Walmart about 20 years ago. I worked at a Walmart for about 15 years, the same Walmart that I deliver groceries for now. And I started out working overnights and loading trucks and stocking, and then I moved to daytime to become a department manager. And at one time, I was a department manager for the toy section. Excuse me. And we call at Walmart, it was called a code Adam. Whenever a child got lost in the store or whatever, when they would call code Adam, associates would go to all exits, not let anybody with kids leave. And 9 times out of 10, you would either find the child would be in the toy section or in electronics, in the video game section. So that was the first place I would look, is go through the toy section. And of course, they would give a description of the child we had walkie-talkies. They would give a description of the child. 9 times out of 10, luckily, we always found the child that was, I said, either in the toy section, or if it was a little bit older child, a tween, maybe, over in electronics and the video games. So, but yeah, I mean, and then when my oldest niece and nephew were growing up, we would not let them out of our sights, even in Walmart or anywhere. It's just, yeah, scary. Miss Doodles says, for my area, that was when Gina Dawn Brooks got kidnapped. Yep. I've still got to get a video or a live stream on her. I've had her in my little notebook on my list for a long time. Doodle says, I think we all as children has something like that happen that changed us forever. Absolutely. Yep, Mustang says sketches are not photographs. Absolutely. I said sketches, just like eyewitnesses are notoriously unreliable, you know. Lisa says, I don't recall the ages, but I know his son was of an age that seemed logical as well. Yeah. Yep. Yes, I hope Miss Barb is doing okay. Lisa says that's like how things changed for us when Jacob Wetterling was abducted. Absolutely. And I think, didn't they end up they found his remains, right? Because I think, was it Jacob's mom and Morgan's mom, in a special documentary they did, I think it was Jacob's mom was talking to Morgan's mom. They became friends, bonded over the, loss of their children, unfortunately. All right, let me play this video right quick. It's about 6.5 minutes. Oh, the guy Lisa says the guy confessed just not too long ago. I did not know that. Or maybe I did. Maybe I saw an article. All right. All right, let me fetch the video and play it, and I will be back.
Mark the 30th anniversary of the disappearance of Morgan Nick, a tragedy that forever changed how Arkansas responds to missing children. June 9th, 1995 was the last time Morgan's mother, Colleen, felt the warm embrace of her 6-year-old daughter. But to this day, she continues to fight for Morgan, having never given up hope. She sat down recently with Channel 7's Kaylin Clay.
Over 100,000 of these flyers are now pinned up at gas stations and post offices around the state.
An active investigation 30 years later, so close to being solved.
I know that as long as I have anything to do with it, then we won't stop working on it until Morgan is brought home.
The description of 6-year-old Girl Scout Morgan Nick is etched in gold in the minds of Arkansans. That golden blonde hair, her smile that gleams like sunshine.
Hadn't even lost her baby teeth yet, and then this terrible evil happened, but her light still shines today.
And the symbolism of the fireflies she was chasing with friends near an Alma ballpark on the evening of June 9th, 1995.
I think represent everything about the innocence of childhood and the fact that one small light can forever change the darkness.
A much warmer light, a mother's fire, has fueled the investigation that has never been extinguished.
She's my child, and it's my job to fight for her, and I love her more than anyone else. Quitting is not an option.
The days following June 9th of 1995, parents everywhere joined Colleen Nick in fear of the world their eyes had been opened to, and also in hopes that Morgan would be found.
In the beginning when Morgan was missing, I was 100% convinced that we would find her right away.
According to accounts from the ballpark that fateful evening, Morgan was believed to have been taken by a man in a red truck with a white camper. The hunt for that red truck climaxed in 2019 when investigators revisited the case file, landing focus on a man who was caught attempting to abduct another girl at a Sonic in Van Buren just a couple months after Morgan's disappearance. The truck at the Sonic matched the description of the one seen on June 9th at the ballpark. 6 years ago, it was tracked to its current owner, and the FBI was able to recover a single blonde hair through vacuum technology, an advancement that wasn't around in the early days of the investigation. That hair was sent to a lab in Texas, and in 2024, results moved the case a step closer to closure.
And it was linked to the Nick family. There's no one in the Nick family that had been in that truck, and the only possibility is that it would have been Morgan in that truck.
Links died in prison in 2000 while serving time for another crime.
He'll never have to stand and face justice here on earth for what he did to Morgan. He took her life, but he didn't take her voice. He didn't take her light that still shines through this foundation.
The Morgan Nick Foundation was created to bring Morgan home. But throughout Colleen's years of fighting, she realized she wasn't alone in her nightmare. Conversations with moms of other unsolved crime victims, like Melissa Witt, who went missing only months before Morgan, embody what the foundation does today.
Knowing that her daughter had not survived and would not come home. And she looked me in the eye and she said, "It's not time to give up hope." You know, and that was one of the strongest things that anybody ever said. And it's what we have taken with us for 30 years is to let families know that it's okay to have hope. We grew from a 2-person office with no pay to an 8-person office with federal grants. And we have case managers who strictly provide intervention for families when a missing adult or a missing child case happens.
Daily, they fight, they educate. And daily, the response to missing children is progressing.
You know, providing connection to families is critical because when someone you love is missing, it's very isolating.
Because of Morgan's case, the Arkansas Amber Alert system, once named after Morgan, was established.
I think the changes that happened because of the awareness, I think that changed the future for other children who might go missing, for the fight that will happen for them, for our state who says we won't stand by and watch this happen again.
Because of the Morgan Nick Foundation, photos of missing children are posted in federal facilities, and there are stricter sentencing laws for sex offenders.
But if those things had been in place, Billy Jack Links would have been in prison already for the crimes he had committed. They put him out on the streets and gave him a suspended sentence, and he did commit the same crime again. And Morgan lost her life because of that.
Today, with eyes on retirement, Colleen stands proud of the influence this case has had, proud of the hundreds of cases they've helped solve.
I love my sister.
But when it comes to Morgan, she just wants her home, in her final resting place.
I always plan to be able to look Morgan in the eye and say, I never gave up fighting for you.
Well, Morgan's light continues to shine on today and is doing just that at the Arkansas State Capitol tonight. As you can see behind me, the dome is lit pink in her honor. That's Morgan's favorite color. The color represents hope as the search for Morgan continues even today. And although Morgan would be 36 years old today, her mother tells me she's forever 6 in her heart. On your side, I'm Kaylin Clay.
Kaylin, thank you. This is an age progression image of Morgan Nick, what she may look like today. Alma police say that they still take in a couple of leads in her disappearance each week. And despite what was found in that red pickup, they are not ruling out any possibilities. If you have any information on Morgan's disappearance, make sure to call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-843-5678.
Okay, that was a new, just a few days ago, new interview with Miss Colleen Nick, Morgan's mother. And I think all this time I just realized that I've been saying April 9th when I've been talking about Jamie's case and Morgan's case instead of June 9th. So I apologize if I've been doing that. I'm trying to think. Have I been saying April? Anyway, yeah, another one that's just 30 years. So going back to Jacob Wetterling's case, Mustang said, wasn't he responsible for other SA charges and attempting to abduct another boy? I'm not sure. Now, is the Jacob Wetterling case, is that the one where it's the 3 boys on the bicycle and the whoever it was, I don't even know the man's name. I made them get off the bicycles and on the ground, and he took Jacob and let the other boys go, or am I thinking about a totally different case? I may have my cases. I've got all these cases in my head, and sometimes I get confused. Hey, Miss Jana is here, Justice for Crystal McCrory Jones. Hello, Miss Jana. Good to see you. I hadn't seen you in a while. Please do check out, if somebody wants to throw the link in, Doodle or somebody. I think Arctic is not passed out, but he's lurking. He's got a migraine. Can throw that link in. It's good to see you, ma'am. Please do check out that case. Absolutely. Miss Nicole says, I adore Colleen so much. Such an amazing mom and advocate. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, thank you, Miss Jana. Send $1.99 super chat. Justice for our loved ones. Absolutely. Thank you so much. So we get to put a cow in the pasture. Let me find the cow. There she is. Thank you so much, Miss Jana. It's very much appreciated. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Oh, everything just jumped on me here. Miss Lisa just said yes. So I'm assuming you're answering Mustang's question about wasn't he let me find it again. The one who's responsible for Jacob Wetterling, wasn't he responsible for other SA charges and attempting to abduct another boy? And Miss Lisa Joe said yes. Okay, so I was on the right case, so that's the case. Okay. We're so glad that you could be here too, Miss Jana. Absolutely. You like the cow? Yes. Everybody loves the moo cow. Mind the Monsters. Sunshine made that for me a while ago, and I love it to death. It is so hot in here, guys. And I apologize if my hair is a mess tonight. I just kind of threw it up. It's hot in here. All right. I think that is all I had. So, let's see. We haven't even been on here 2 hours yet. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Just throw it in chat. Absolutely. And we will talk about it. Stop my cam for a minute. I'm glad everybody is here tonight. We finally, like I said, we tried to do this last night, and it turned into a big old dumpster fire before it even got started because of my farm signal out here. But I think it was caused because we had some storms that rolled in, and y'all, once those storms got here, it thundered and boomed and lightened all night long, all morning long. I would just get to sleep and then be thrown out of bed by a big crack of lightning and thunder, and the cats were going crazy. And anyway, it's quieting down here. We had one line of storms that came through this afternoon, but that's nothing since then. Let me see if I can find something on Miss Crystal's case. Since Miss Jana is here. Searching. Just looking for new articles. I'm gonna have to have Miss Jana on at some point to talk about Crystal's case, if she would be willing to. And I had to have somebody up here with me, Doodle, Arctic, both, Lisa Joe, somebody. So I'm always nervous when I talk to family members. Let's see what this says. So this is from a website called, let me see if it'll let me screen share it. Hold on 1 second. Take that down. Watch out, I'm pushing buttons here. See if it'll share. There we go. Let me change make it a little bit bigger. Oh, if I push there we go. Okay. This is, oh, don't put me behind a paywall. From a website called crimeandcask.com. It is from March 6th of this year. Crystal McCrory Jones' death raises troubling questions. A police investigation in Oak Grove, Louisiana. And there is a picture of the beautiful Crystal. Now, I've not read this, so. On February 9th, 2023, a mother of two was found deceased from a GSW to the head in her Oak Grove, Louisiana home. Within 1 hour and 45 minutes, authorities classified her death as self-harm, but new evidence and investigative inconsistencies are raising serious questions about what really happened that day. The town of Oak Grove, with a population of just 1,441, according to the 2020 U.S. Census, is rarely a place for such troubling incidents make headlines. But the suspicious circumstances surrounding Crystal's death are making this quiet town the focus of scrutiny. 2 days before Crystal's death, the Ring doorbell camera at her home was disconnected. Her husband, named Tony, employed by the West Carroll Parish Sheriff's Department, the agency in charge of investigating her death, was never officially considered a suspect, according to investigative reports reviewed by CC News. It says, why would he be? He's only the husband and the first person law enforcement looks to. That's police work 101. Absolutely. Crystal's sister, Miss Jana, who is here, has publicly criticized the investigation, saying the sheriff's office prematurely declared Crystal's death self-harm after only a 7-minute interview with Tony, the husband, and the deputy sheriff from the department that was investigating the death of his wife. Some would call this a conflict of interest. Most definitely. In my opinion. Google location data reviewed during the investigation reportedly places Tony near the home at the initially recorded time of Crystal's death, around 10:35 a.m., though the coroner later inexplicably altered the official time of death to 5:05 p.m. Following Crystal's death, Tony pursued a $63,000 group life insurance policy and quickly had Crystal's body cremated. Jana questioned whether the swift cremation was intended to eliminate any possibility of a third-party forensic examination. Photos allegedly showed bruising on Crystal's hands and body, suggesting a possible struggle. But the forensic pathologist performing the autopsy denied the existence of bruising, calling it postmortem lividity, despite photographic evidence to the contrary. So bruising versus postmortem. Bruising occurs while a person is alive or immediately around the time of death. It indicates trauma or injury due to blood vessels rupturing beneath the skin. Forensically significant, often suggesting a struggle or assault. I think we know what postmortem lividity is blood settles to the lowest part of the body. Typically appears 20 minutes to 2 hours after death. So relevance to Crystal's case. In the case of Crystal, her sister Jana and lawyers argue photographs from the crime scene and funeral home show bruising around Crystal's hands and thighs. They contend this indicates potential physical struggle prior to death. However, the forensic pathologist performing the autopsy stated these marks were the result of postmortem lividity, denying that bruising existed. So what is this from? Says at Crime and Cast, they said Crystal Jones took her own life, but the evidence says otherwise. bruises, broken nails, a husband with a badge, and a sheriff's office too close for comfort. Her family is demanding answers, and so are we. This is a story they do not want you to hear. Well, it's too bad. They're going to hear it. So importance in investigation, determining the exact nature of these marks is critical. Bruising would imply physical altercation or struggle before death, significantly impacting the investigation and potentially undermining the official ruling of self-harm. Conversely, lividity would support the official conclusion of self-harm and indicate no foul play. Due to the body's quick cremation by Crystal's husband, independent verification of this evidence is impossible, leaving investigators dependent on photographs and existing reports. The controversy over these findings highlights ongoing questions surrounding the adequacy and thoroughness of the official investigation. As a significant contradiction emerged regarding a missing shell casing. Initial reports stated investigators couldn't find it at the scene. Yet a week later, Tony claimed to have discovered it himself. Sheriff Scott Matthews and Chief Deputy Alan Irby asserted the casing was clearly visible in the crime scene photos, but according to Jana, no such photograph exists. Additionally, the ballistics report misidentified the gun involved. Investigators recorded the firearm as a Ruger EC9, but the serial number indicates it was actually an LC9. Further errors were found in the coroner's report, including incorrect health conditions attributed to Crystal, conditions Jana says her sister never had. This was the worst case of rushed, unprofessional policing I've seen, Jana told a local Louisiana news outlet. They interviewed Tony for just 7 minutes before calling it self-harm. The evidence of bruising suggesting a struggle was never documented in their reports or autopsy. So private investigator Sheila Wasaki, a nationally recognized cold case expert, is now assisting Jana in seeking justice. After the requests for help were rebuffed by both the Louisiana State Police and the Attorney General's office, Jana and Wasaki traveled to Washington, D.C., seeking assistance from lawmakers. Wasaki, the private investigator, said there are too many glaring mistakes and too much evidence ignored. The community deserves a thorough, independent investigation. The credibility of the sheriff's department depends on it. The suspicious circumstances surrounding Crystal Jones' death and the insulting investigation have left her family and the Oak Grove community seeking answers and justice. CC News Network will continue to follow this case closely, providing updates as new information emerges. Wow. So there, please, guys, like I said, definitely, let me get back over here to the right place. Hold on, let me put Crystal's face back up there. There we go. I'll leave that there. Okay. Please, 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 you guys look at this case. Sorry, I had to get a drink. Yeah, Miss Janice said, there's so much out there, I don't even know where to tell you to start. Never be nervous. We can't thank you enough for doing what you do. Oh, thank you so much. It's the least we can do. The least we can do. Yeah, so are we friends on Facebook? I'm trying to think if we are or not. I'm thinking so, but I'm not sure. Or you can always email me. southerngaltruecrime@hotmail.com. And maybe me and maybe Miss Doodle and Arctic can work out a time where we can have you on one of our channels. I'm always nervous too about doing having family members on my stream, because with my signal, I never know if it's going to cut out, and I don't want, if I have a family member on here talking about their loved one's case, I don't want anything to go wrong. So that's what I'm nervous about that too. I just don't want everything to crash and burn. But let me get back down to your comment. Let's see. Yeah, Miss Paula asking any suspects, and Miss Janice said no suspects. We suspect the husband. I second that motion. He is the last one to see and talk to her. Miss Joynell also says that pathologist also changed her livor mortis status on her autopsy 10 months after the original autopsy. Man. Welcome, Elaine Griffin. Good to have you here. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to have my cam off. Welcome. Good to have you here. Miss Janice said True Crime News has an episode on their website too. Absolutely. I'm assuming Miss Jana knows Miss Elaine. Welcome. It's nice to meet you, Miss Elaine. Miss Jana says legislation was passed in Louisiana last week. House Concurrent Resolution 60 about illegally mailing cremated human remains because her husband illegally mailed a portion to her son. Oh my goodness, in New York. You can't do that. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Miss Elaine says, my beautiful best friend. It's so nice to have you here, Miss Elaine. Okay, so yes, so Jenna Gayuski, yes, I will add you. I will send you a friend request on Facebook. It will be from Dawn SGTC. So basically Dawn Southern Gal True Crime. And it'll have the same logo there as my avatar there. So I will try to remember to do that either tonight when we get off of here or tomorrow. I will definitely do it, ma'am. Yes, Miss Elaine says justice will prevail for our girl. Absolutely. Okay, Miss Jenna says Elaine was Crystal's best friend. Absolutely nice to meet you, ma'am. All right, does anybody have anything else? We've been here just a little bit over 2 hours. I think we covered everything. Let me put my don't know what I'm doing. Watch out, I'm pushing buttons. It could go into a dumpster fire at any moment. No, excuse me, that was the last that I had. So thank you everybody for being here. We made it through. It might be the videos and picture may have been a little choppy, and I might have sounded like R2D2. I think Arctic said one time with the audio quality, but at least we made it. At least we made it. So it is, what's today? Saturday? I forgot what. I usually do these on Fridays, but like I said, last night turned into a total dumpster fire. So Monday, if nothing, you are more than welcome. Miss Lane, thanks for helping get Crystal's voice heard. Absolutely. And I'm trying to think. I'll have to go back and look at my videos. I don't think I've done a video on Crystal, but I will. I most certainly will. I do an unsolved, because I do missing cases and unsolved cold cases or unsolved cases. So I will do an unsolved episode video for Crystal's case. Absolutely. And then, like I said, hopefully we can get something worked out and get Miss Jana and Miss Elaine too, if you want to come on with maybe me and Arctic Doodle, whoever. Maybe we can get something worked out to have you guys on to talk about the case. Miss Jana says she gets excited about new videos. Absolutely. I will do my best. I will research it some more. Of course, I've looked at it, studied it, or, but it's been a while since I've looked at it. But yes, I'll definitely get brushed up on it again, and let's see what I can do. I'll get something put together, most definitely. Absolutely. Yeah, Miss Jan says Elaine's got to come on too. Absolutely. We'll have everybody. Well, I think on StreamYard we can have like 10 people at a time on. We don't have that many people, but yes, Miss Elaine says the more coverage, the quicker justice will be served. Absolutely. All right, so barring anything that comes up last minute, Monday will be Missing Person Monday. We did California last week, and I can't remember. Let me see what. Go to the Charlie Project right quick and see what state will be next, because we're on the western states. And God, I've got to do. God, I'm gonna have to do that tomorrow. Get that put together. Tomorrow is Sunday. I'm so behind. So behind. I'll get it done. Go to geographical cases. Of course, everything's running slow. Super slow. Oh, come on. Well, it's not wanting to load anything, I don't think. Anyway, I'll get it. I'll do it on, oh, there it goes. Colorado will be Monday. We will look at some cases, some cold cases from Colorado, missing persons. And then, so with the states we have left are Colorado, Hawaii, Idaho, Montana, Nevada, New Mexico, Oregon, Utah, Washington, and Wyoming. And then we'll have made it through all the United States, all the states in the United States. And then we'll have to figure out what we're going to do next. Unfortunately, we say all the time, there's so many missing newer cases and cold cases that we could just start all over again. We may do a state by state, like 2 years missing or 5 years missing or 10 years missing. I'll put something on my community tab, asking for suggestions about what you guys would like to see on Missing Person Monday. We could do like a year missing, 2 years missing, 5 years missing, or 10 years missing cases. I've actually come across some, when I'm looking through cases in the different states, cases that could be related. We could do cases of just highlight missing persons that could be related. But I'll put not really a poll, but I'll put a post up, and you guys can give me some suggestions of what you would like to see, because I'm here for you guys for whatever you want me to do. So what I say, Colorado. So Colorado will be Monday. I might try to do, because next Friday I won't be able to do a True Crime After Dark because it'll be family game night. So Thursday, if StreamYard and my signal will cooperate with me, we may do a live stream to talk about something Thursday also, if nothing comes up. So, all right, if nobody has anything else, we will get out of here. Thank you so much to everybody who is in chat. Thank you, lurkers. We love our lurkers. If you're watching replay, thank you so much. We love our replay crew. So as always, to kind of end, if I can find it, on a lighter note, I'll play my outro with Little Biscuit, featuring Little Biscuit and Sir Tigger, my two little fur babies. So until Monday, have a good Sunday. Be careful out there. Be kind to one another. Take care of each other. We are all we have. And let me take this down. And I will see you guys Monday. Thanks, guys.